Atomic Habits by James Clear is a book about breaking bad habits and adopting good ones in 4 steps. The book also talks about how tiny changes in habit compound into remarkable changes over time. In this series of 4 short videos, I want to share the 4 laws essential for habit change. The first law for habit change is making it obvious. Generally, when we start working on a new habit, we begin with a vague goal like I will start eating healthy or I will start doing exercises. The main problem with this approach is this has no implementation plan. Here are some ways to change this. The first way is to write down the implementation plan in a minute detail. James Clear suggests the implementation plan should include location, time, along with the desired change. For example, I will do a light exercise at 7 am in my room. The second way to create a habit that sticks is to stack the habit with an existing habit. We mostly already have a habit formed in place, like waking up, getting fresh and having breakfast. In this habit chain, we have to stack the desired change after the thing that we already do, like taking a walk, which is a desired change, after breakfast, which is our existing habit. The third way proposed by the author is to design the environment in such a way that it triggers your good habits. For example, if you let some dumbbells laying around in your living room, there is a likely chance that you will lift them a few times. To get rid of bad habits, do all these things, but in reverse. We are more likely to take actions that seem attractive to us. So, if we make our desired changes attractive, the more likely we will continue it. Before understanding how to make our habits attractive, let's first understand the reason for our existing habits. Habits are nothing more than a dopamine-driven feedback loop. When we are doing something pleasurable or fun, our brain releases dopamine, which is the reason for feeling good. A recent discovery also suggests that dopamine is not only released when we do something pleasurable, but also when we anticipate pleasure. Therefore, by making our habits pleasurable, our brain releases dopamine, and when the reward system of our brain is tweaked, it will be easier to continue our habits. There are 2 techniques that we can use to make our habits attractive. The first way is to use temptation bundling according to James Clear. In this technique, we pair the action that we want to do with the things that we need to do. I want to give you an example of Ryan Starbins. He was an aerospace engineer, he was addicted to watching Netflix and he didn't do much exercises. He then configured Netflix to only run when he is on his exercise bicycle and riding it at a certain speed. Below that speed, he could not watch Netflix. This is an example of temptation bundling in action. Now that we have discussed temptation bundling, let's move on to the second way to make our habits more attractive. The second way is to join a culture where our desired habit is the normal behavior. We humans like to fit in and belong to a tribe. We rather like to be wrong with the majority than to be alone and right. If you surround yourself with people who have your desired action as a habit, the group sets the expectation for what is normal, and you will more likely be normal than a misfit. Therefore, if you would like to read more books, you could join a book club, and if you want to be fit, you could join a gym. Because in these places, there are people who already do the things that you want to do. As a part of the exercise to form better habits, you can try incorporating temptation bundling this week, or join a community that shares your desired habit and see the changes. We have covered the first 2 laws for habit change in the previous 2 videos. In this video, I want to explain the third law for habit change. To make our habits easy, we can take 3 steps. The first way is to identify the barriers to your habits. According to James Clear, it is important to identify any obstacles or barriers that might be standing in the way of our habit. This could include things like lack of time, energy, or resources. Once you know what these barriers are, you can take steps to remove them or find ways to work around them. The second way is to make your environment work for you. Your environment can have a big impact on your habits, so it's important to create an environment that supports your goals. This might mean setting up a dedicated workspace or organizing your home or office in a way that makes it easier to perform your desired habits. You can also create some visual cues or reminders to help you stay on track. The third way is to use the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule is a simple strategy for making your habits easier to start. Essentially, it involves breaking your habits into the smallest possible action and then committing to doing that action for just 2 minutes. Once you start, it's often easier to keep going, and this can help you build a momentum and make your habit a regular part of your routine. These were the 3 ways to make your habits easy. Try using these techniques in your life and let me know the results in the comments. The fourth law for habit change according to James Clear is to make our habits satisfying. The idea behind this law is that pleasure teaches our brain that a behavior is worth remembering and repeating. Another idea for this law is that our brain prioritizes immediate rewards over delayed rewards. Therefore, rewarding ourselves immediately after we perform a desired action is the best way to make our habits satisfying. We can use 3 techniques to make our habits satisfying. The first way is to find ways to make progress. According to Clear, one of the most satisfying things about habits is the sense of progress and accomplishment that comes with them. So it's important to find ways to measure and track your progress as you work on your habits. This could be through something as simple as keeping a journal or using a habit tracker app. The second way is to celebrate our wins. Another way to make our habits more satisfying is by celebrating our wins, no matter how small they might be. This could be something as simple as treating ourselves to a small reward or sharing our accomplishment with friends and family. The final way to make our habits satisfying is by reframing our failures. Finally, clear advice is reframing your failures as learning opportunities rather than setback. This can help you stay motivated and focused on the goals even when things don't go as planned. This is the final law for habit change. This is also the end of my 4-part series on laws for habit change. I hope incorporating these laws in your life helps you achieve your goals.